Story Night's 8th birthday show and our flagship season finale, Life Punctuated. Tonight, true stories live on stage and without notes on the theme ? Who, what, where, when, why? You stories jump now, because we love stories. Here is your host, Jody Eichelberger.
Now we get to the really exciting part. This is the second year that Leta and her team have converted a story slam into a mini musical. Last year they chose a story from the first show of the season, and this year they really challenged themselves because they chose a story from our very last show, just last month, from Comma. So I would like to ask David Lee to come to the stage. David, I think, are you somewhere nearby? David Lee, here he comes. All right. The original storyteller, our story source, David Lee. Some of you were here for that show. Is this looking like a familiar face? Yes, should be. All right, hey, you can take this mic right here. We'll have a tiny little chat. We'll have a tiny little chat. Move over here.
Okay.
First of all, I found out also that it's extra appropriate that you were chosen for this story because you are celebrating a birthday in just a few days.
Next Monday.
Next Monday, and you are turning...
Well, it's got a 0 in it, and the first number is less than 7.
But not appropriate for Social Security payments yet.
No.
Not yet.
Correct.
All right. Turning 60 on Monday.
Okay, you did the
Congratulations. Hey, did you? Yes. Did you get a cupcake?
I got a cupcake.
Well, here's another
Oh.
Because when you're 60, you get more cupcakes.
Okay. Look, some of you have something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we're not going to keep you up here too long, but one of the things that was really fun that I got to do is call you and tell you that your story had been chosen to be turned into a musical. I wonder if we can kind of, do you sort of remember this phone call? Can we kind of recreate the conversation a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I remember my lines. Hello?
Oh, David Lee?
Yes.
Hi, this is Jody from Story Night, and I wanted to let you know that your story has been chosen to be turned into a mini musical.
What?
That's exactly what happened. And then we talked for a while about the process. I invited her to come here, and so we've been talking for, 6 or 7 minutes. And then do you remember the last question you asked me? It was, so my story is going to be turned into a musical? And that's what's going to happen right now. Let's go out in the audience and see your life in music.
Okay.
All right. Leta Harris Neustaedter.
How many of you were here last time and heard his story? So, by the way we do this is we transcribe his story and we try to keep as much of it as possible in the songs and in the text. So you're going to hear 99% of these words are directly from his story. The supplemental words that we used are just only in the song parts, and even some of the songs are using his actual words too. So you're going to get him enhanced.
Good evening. I wasn't really planning on speaking today, but this story is about something that happened to me this morning. The last speaker kind of inspired me when she was talking about getting arrested and how it turned out to be a real life awakening event. I had a similar event about 7 years ago. I wasn't arrested, but I did have a brain tumor, which, as you might imagine, was pretty scary. At the time I was stricken with that, I was just kind of coming out of I guess you would call it a midlife crisis.
red Corvette, it's as heavy as it gets. Thought about some flames, but I'm not there yet. Feeling like a rock star, bought a new guitar. Started up a band with the guys from the bar, yeah! Whoa! Getting older, that ain't fun. So I'm gonna act like I'm 21. Pour some polo on me. Pour some polo on me.
All the girls stand in line.
Pour some polo on me.
Tune it one more time.
Now I'm hot and I reek from my head to my feet. Come on, pour some polo on.
Nothing ends a midlife crisis quicker than a potential end-of-life crisis. The nature of brain tumors is somewhat different than other cancers. With other cancers, I think they often say that 5 years is a sort of a clear mark. Brain cancer is not quite like that. I always have the possibility of something in the future hanging over my head, or growing in my head, as the case may be. As each year goes by, I feel better about it, but I still have to get yearly MRIs. It's gotten to the point where that's pretty routine for me.
When I show up at the place, I'm like, oh yeah, I know the drill. Just put me in the tube, no music, just let me zone out. And part of the routine, I sign a release and ask to see the report so I can know what's going on before I talk with the doctor. And again, that's pretty routine. I usually have some incredibly technical language, as you can imagine.
10 milligrams lidocaine,
It's like
1% is local anesthetic, PVT1, 3D, CRT, indirect correlation, no abdominal enhancement, 10 milligrams lidocaine, 1% is local anesthetic, PVT, and 3
But there's only 3 words I'm looking for, and they're usually somewhere toward the end, and that's no evidence of recurrent neoplasm.
I see these words and like I'm okay. I'm good for another year at least. I just had this year's MRI last Monday, and I did the usual routine, signed the thing, and asked them to send me the report, and they said they'd probably get it in the mail the next day, so I'm like, okay. So, Tuesday goes by, Wednesday goes by, I check and it's not in the mail. Well, I wasn't worried about it too much. It'll probably show up tomorrow. Thursday, not in the mail. Friday, not in the mail. Saturday, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I gotta wait till Monday. So it wasn't there yesterday, but I thought, oh, don't worry about it. And then I went to check the mail today, and suddenly, it's amazing how the darkness can kind of take over pretty quickly. And I suddenly started to worry. Oh, and by the way, I called the place on Friday and got routed around to some place and left a voicemail that never called me back. And suddenly a dark thought came over my mind, and I thought, wait, what if they're not giving it to me because it's bad news and they don't want me to know until I see the doctor? What if they're holding it back? And for some reason, Within like about an hour's time, that story took a grip on me, and I found myself getting kind of grouchy and not quite having post-cancer survivor bliss that I was counting on. And at the same time telling myself, yeah, you're worrying too much, it's ridiculous. Well, it may be ridiculous, but worry works that way.
What have I done with my life? Wasted so much time on things that don't matter. Can I make it right? What if I'm running out of time? Who will take care of my dog? Who will understand all the things he's scared of? I promised him I'd always be around, and that he'd never be wrong. And all those dreams and plans unfinished, all those things I'll never be. All those trips I should have taken, all those places I'll never see. I guess I should gather up my kids, let them know and start making preparations. They're all so grown up now with such beautiful lives. I guess I did do something right. But all those dreams and plans unfinished, all those things I'll never be. All those trips I should have taken, all those places I'll never see.
So I decided to go down to the MRI place to kind of see what happened. And I went in and I said, I had an MRI last week. They were going to send me the report. I still haven't seen it. And whatever the reasons were for why they hadn't sent it, they said that they could print the report for me right there. So I was kind of nervous waiting for it, and she comes and hands me one page. Oh. And I said, it's only one page. And I'm like, well, they're usually longer than that. It's only one page? She goes, yeah. So I go, okay. And just in case it was bad news, I didn't want to read it right there, so I stepped out to my car, and I'm reading the usual technical language here.
As a 10 milliliter extraction, 1% local anesthetic, PBT hormone,
And looking for those magic words.
and there's no abdominal enhancement.
I'm reading through the whole page,
3D CRT.
and I was like,
Ironically,
wait! I didn't see the words I was looking for. What I did see at the end of the page was page 1 of 2. So, I went back in and I told the receptionist, and she goes, oh, our printer must have run out of paper. So she printed it and handed me the second page. Oh, thank you. Which just had a couple of lines on it, but I got right to the end, and it had the words I needed. No evidence of recurrent neoplasm.
What will I do with my life? Now that I have time to do the things that matter, I'll take my family for a trip. We've always wanted to see Italy. It's just page 1 of 2. And there's so many things that I will do. It's just page 1 of 2. There's so many things, so many things, so many things that I will do. I'll take my dog out for a hike on the foothill trails, soaking in the sunshine. And then I'll start to write that book. There's just so many things I could write about, 'cause it's just page 1 of 2. And there's so many things that I will do. It's just page 1 of 2. There's so many things, so many things, so many things that I will do. Oh, that I will do. Stitch marker, Todd Dunnigan, Thomas Paul.